So you want to know why so many mental health clinicians suck at working with Black people or other people of color? It's the audacity. It's the lack of intellect. Let me give you some specifics. It makes no sense that you think that you can improve the mental health of Black people without understanding the context of our history and what we are currently going through. It is audacious to think that you could discuss comfortability and stressors and imposter syndrome in the workplace without discussing tone policing, respectability politics, misogyny, racism, and sexism. It is disrespectful for you to think that you have the ability to discuss hypervigilance in the Black community, anxiety in the Black community, without discussing domestic terrorism, police brutality, and Jim Crow. It is ridiculous. It is incredibly ridiculous to think that you could discuss depression and post-traumatic stress disorder in the Black community without discussing food apartheids, the school-to-prison pipeline, and gang violence. It is ridiculous for you to think that you can improve the self-esteem of the Black community without discussing racial identity development and decolonization of mental health. It's one of the reasons why y'all suck. It's one of the reasons why so many people end up feeling invalidated, because you want to talk about the here and now partially. You're not even good at that, but you can't even talk about the context that contributed to us being where we are right now. That's one of the reasons why I am good at my job, because I do include the historical context, because I read not only about what happened previously and starting at enslavement, but after that. Do a better job.
All right now, Dr. Martin. That is absolutely true. And in general, in relationships, in former relationships with Black people and people of color, if BIPOC people, Black, Indigenous people of color, are not able to express themselves truthfully to you, there's no getting over that hurdle of tolerance. These friendships are not friendships unless it can be authenticity all the way through on all sides. And oftentimes, some people are so blinded by their guilt and their shame that they try to convince other people to forget about the past and not to connect the dots of the past and how the past affects the present. Because history and our past definitely matters, and it definitely connects the dots up into our present. Our past affects the future, always. What we're doing now will affect people 10 years from now, 20 years from now, generations from now. That's why what we do in this lifetime, what y'all, matters. And all debts have to be, what y'all, Crown Child knows the drill, paid. We have to get out of our feelings and get into some real conversation and stop hiding behind our emotions and be adults and pave a better way instead of just talking about it, being about it, and actually paving a way that benefits the youth and the generations that's coming behind us. Because being fake, tolerant, and silent is the reason why we're still having these conversations today. People trying to mask and sweep things under the rug is why we're still having this conversation today. Healing requires authenticity.